All right, thank you everyone for joining in. Hi and welcome to the Tech Lockdown Daily Webcast, where today we will be discussing technology that will help us during the lockdown period and beyond. My name is Aaron and I will be your moderator for this session. Today, in our third webcast series, our journalist Syed will be chatting with Nutanix Malaysia Country Manager, Avinash Gowda. They will be talking about some of the technologies that businesses could use to allow them to ensure employees are productive and efficient, no matter where they are physically located. Mr. Avinash will also talk about the recent free 30-day unlimited user offer on C-Frame that was recently announced by Nutanix to help onboard businesses across the APAC region that are affected by the COVID-19. He will also talk about how both employers and employees can take advantage of this existing technology. With that, I will now pass the webinar to Syed.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Aaron, for the introduction. And thanks, everyone, for joining us. Today is day 3 of our Tech Lockdown webcast. As many places are currently under lockdown because of the virus, we're finding that a lot of companies have had to change the way they do business and are finding themselves in uncharted territory at the moment in terms of having staff working remotely. So the aim of our webcast is to invite subject matter experts who can shed light on ways that companies can stay productive and efficient. Today, we're joined by Avinash Gowda from Nutanix. Hi, Avinash, thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks a lot, Saeed, for having me. I'm very happy to be here and great to be able to share some experiences.
So before we get started, Avinash, how has the lockdown affected operations at Nutanix on offices in Malaysia as well as the region?
Well, thanks for asking. First of all, I hope everybody is safe and at home. Nutanix, as a large MNC with operations across the world with over 6,100 employees, we have a business continuity plan already in place. So as soon as the crisis started, immediately activated this BCP globally. This BCP is chaired by a small group of global executives. So we immediately started working from home because the top priority we have is to protect the health and safety of our employees, our customers, our partners, as well as the overall community in general, right? So working from home actually started much earlier, even prior to government restrictions as such. And as a global company, our infrastructure is designed to support remote work. And in fact, almost half of my Malaysia employees are remote workers, supporting customers across the region, as well as working from home from a support and services role in the day-to-day roles, right? So we're quite well prepared to continue our businesses and keep them running during this crisis.
So how can these companies ensure that employees can work no matter where they are physically located and remain productive? I guess technology can help with that. Can you name some technologies that they can adopt to achieve all this?
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's face it, for many of us, this COVID-19 outbreak has really resulted in millions of people being isolated across the region. If you look at a recent Gartner survey, only 2% of the respondents actually believed that their businesses can continue as normal even through this outbreak. It's really unfortunate that it takes a situation like this for many companies, across the region and especially in Malaysia, to prioritize business continuity. And also, they're only now starting to look at technology to support their employee productivity. And to be honest, many of this, their technology has always been existing. It's not something newly developed. So we all use apps, and I think many of the listeners are familiar to stay in touch with friends, families, customers, and colleagues. And that's one technology area, which is cloud. The second technology area that I want to talk about is around software-defined infrastructure, right? So traditional technology infrastructure is hardware-based, based on servers. And these can be quite slow and inflexible. Generally, folks and the customers were tied to their servers in their on-premise data centers, and if they wanted to get any work done. The transition from the hardware-based silo approach to a software-defined infrastructure means that people are no longer physically limited to or need physical access to their data centers to be productive. And central operations can be handled remotely, even by skeleton staff. In Malaysia, we have several large customers, including banks and government agencies, which are still staying up and working remotely by using Nutanix technology. So basically, the heart of many organizations can continue pumping remotely without the need to have people physically on site. With this software-defined infrastructure, that leads us to two technologies specifically, which also touches into the XiFrame offer or XiFrame offering that Nutanix has rolled out for customers across the region. One is VDI. VDI stands for Virtual Desktop Infrastructure. And the second is DaaS, or DaaS, or Desktop as a Service. These are both perfect examples of how technologies can come together to keep our businesses running. VDI is usually a private cloud hosted desktop operated by organizations, by enterprises, right? Specifically to meet their needs, and is maintained by in-house IT personnel. So many large enterprises have VDI deployments, and now they're expanding them even while we talk, to cater for their employees who are working from home. The second, which is probably more pertinent to many Malaysian customers, is DaaS, or Desktop as a Service. This is, on the other hand, is a fully outsourced solution. So it provides a virtual desktop, and it doesn't rely on, and it doesn't consume internal hardware. So it's basically cloud-based approach. So those are some of the technologies that customers and organizations can use during these challenging times to allow their employees to be productive.